friend, Kevin Hunt Sr. Kevin Sr. dropped out of school in junior high. His life went into a downward spiral for many years afterwards. Unable to support himself due to his lack of education, Kevin relied on his family for their financial support. Unable to support himself due to his lack of education, Kevin relied on his family for their financial support. In 2001, he made a decision that would be the catalyst for changing his entire life. He enrolled in the Shorter College GED program. After earning his GED in 2001, Kevin courageously enrolled in Philander Smith College in 2002. I remember that. Where he not only received a business degree in 2006, but also graduated with honors. He went on to receive a master's degree in December of 2015 from Webster University. Philander Smith College, from Webster University. Kevin volunteered for then Attorney General Mike Beebe's campaign for governor. I remember that. Mike Beebe won the election for governor in 2006, and Kevin was hired on as full-time consultant, as full-time staff. During the next 8 years in the office of Governor Mike Beebe, Kevin worked as communication assistant, spending 5 of those years as minority affairs liaison. Since then, since I know Kevin's story, and I want to read Kevin Hezekiah Stewart. Kevin also started writing his first book, and I can remember that when we sat in his office and he was going over the book cover, like, is this nice, is this nice? And if you guys get the chance, please reach out and buy Kevin's book. It's an inspiration to all. Please help me welcome my friend, my close childhood friend, a man that I love dearly like a brother, Kevin Hunt.
I'd like to, before I just proceed on, I just like to tell you, first and foremost, I just got to thank God. What my guy, my childhood friend, totally shared with you all was just a glimpse of what I've been through in my life. And I know that I would not be here. I'm talking about when you know, based off what you did in your life, I know none of these doors would have opened if God had not opened those doors. Because the things that I went through, which is stuff that I did on my own, and nobody cursed me or anything, I went out and did the crimes and stuff. I know when you're trying to change your life, people are close the blinds on you. People are turn the cheek on you. People are close their eyes. People won't answer their phone. But God put some people in my life, and those doors have started to open and open and open, and this is the person that you all see today. So I just want to give thanks to God. And just like I said, Toby's my childhood friend. I tell you, I don't know if you all heard this story, but I once was incarcerated, and I got out and did a lot of crazy things because I was just as lost as everybody else when you come from prison and stuff. It was, to my luck, one way, and it was crazy another way that I got out to one of my childhood friends. He was like the biggest drug dealer in North Little Rock, and so at that time it changed his life around. I'm so blessed to be around Toby. I won't even go on to tell you how intelligent Toby was, man. He taught me a lot about street stuff, you know, because I was young when I went to prison. When I got out, I didn't really understand the drug game, street game, and just sitting around Toby. But man, when he was just introducing me, I was thinking in my mind, like, that's Toby. Like, man, I'm talking about brilliant, man. So thank God for that. And thanks, Shorter College, and thank you all, man. I remember one day I was sitting in the audience listening to somebody come tell their story and speak, trying to motivate me, and I really didn't believe anything that person said because I didn't think that I could be in the situation that I am in today. But that person told us a lot, and I kept on believing. I went on and started believing that I could be something in life. And it's so funny, and I'm going to tell you the story. I know I don't have that much time. Told we're gonna give him the signal to sit it down. But I spoke at a Mapleville Elementary 5th grade graduation class last May. And when I was at that graduation class, I asked all those 5th graders and everybody that was there, probably about 500-600 people at that graduation. And I said, how many of you guys and girls know how to spell the word apple? And everybody raised their hand like this. And that made me feel good. They was in the 5th grade. And I told them the story. I said, in 2001, just 17 years ago, I couldn't even spell apple. I know it's kind of like, no, seriously. No, 17 years ago, I couldn't spell apple. It wasn't that I didn't know that it had an A and a P and an E and an L in it. I just didn't know the order it's supposed to be. I used to spell apple all different type of ways, and I was so frustrated and so mad. 17 years ago, couldn't spell apple. Now here's a laughing moment for you. I want you all to laugh because I laugh at it all the time. So you know if I couldn't spell apple, ain't no way in the world I can spell banana. True story. Just true story. So I struggled. And I wrote about some things in my book when I told my friend that my friend came, one of my childhood friends came up to my house and introduced me to the Bible. And I didn't grow up in the church. My grandmother did, great-grandmother did, but I had never been baptized. And he asked me to read something in the Bible. And he didn't even know that I couldn't read. Now, he knew I was a gangbanger. He knew I can go rob one of these stores around here. He knew I can sell drugs and do drive-by. But he didn't know that what you call it, for some reason they call you, man, my OG can't even read. Did you know that? He didn't know I couldn't read. And he went asked my other friend, and asked my other friend, and they were like, yeah, you didn't know I could read? And it just shocked him. And I wrote about that in my book. And to tell you that is just to tell you, look where I am today. And I would not have been in this position today if somebody would not have helped me. If God wouldn't put me in a position to meet people to encourage me. So when I got out of prison with all the gangbang tattoos and the gangbanging mindset and all I knew was about gangbanging, I knew I couldn't do anything else. There was nowhere in the world I can go get me a job that's gonna pay me $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 because everything said that if you're a felon, if you don't have a high school diploma, if you don't have a college degree, you can't get a good job. And I believe that. So I continue on to do the same thing I used to do before I was in prison. Ended up getting shot a couple times. Ended up doing all these other stuff because I was still doing the same thing. I missed prison so many times. I don't know if Total remember, but I was out of prison 13 days, me and one of our close friends right in front of City Court. Police pulled us over. I jumped out the car because Total can't bond me out, so he got to remember that. Yeah. Jumped out the car with drugs and guns. I threw my drugs somewhere. They caught me with a little money in front of City Court. What's so funny about that story that me, Tobin, don't know, when I ran away, it's just about, I'm telling you the story to tell you that I'm supposed to be here sharing my story. And I have been sharing my story not only in Arkansas, I share my story all over the United States. And I'm always flying somewhere speaking, sharing my story. So I just want to show you what God is doing for my life. And not only am I sharing my story, people, I'm getting paid to share my story. Yeah. When I'm flying to DC and Texas and Louisiana and Tennessee and all that places, they cutting checks. Yeah. Now you all ain't paying me. I'm talking to Reverend Williams. No, I like messing with her because she has been calling me over here to chapel for many, many years to come speak. And she ain't offering $1, but that's a whole other story. But God, I'm talking about, just think about it for a second. I'm traveling all over the United States. That's why my calendar is so busy for 2018. It already jumped in 2019. I'm going different places all the time. Churches calling me. Department of Corrections are calling me. Schools are calling me. Everybody wants somebody to come get their inspirational story. And I have an inspirational story. From gangbanging, couldn't read, went to prison. And how many people in the world that have been to prison for a violent charge, couldn't read or write a spell, in the gang, been shot, we had an opportunity to work in the governor's office in the state of Arkansas. Just think about that for a second. I went to prison in Arkansas. I gangbanged in Arkansas. I ran from the police so many times. Before I even changed my life, from 1994 to 2001 when I started this journey where I am today. Before I even changed my life, not the charges that I did from 1980 something to when I went to prison in 1990. I'm talking about from 94 to 2001. Me and my friends from the East End, which is where I'm originally from, and my North Little Rock friends, we all did so many different types of crime. And there are some things that me and Toby hold secret to our heart that could have landed us in prison. Reason why I'm telling you that is like I wrote in my book, my steps was ordained by God. Amen. All I had to do was get on track. He was giving me chance and chance and chance to be right here one day. And I didn't even realize it until I realized it. So when I got out of prison and all the stuff I did from 94 to 2001, I should have been in prison so many times. I know 2 people that got caught on some stuff that we did that we end up doing time in prison. I can't tell you how many times I discharged, throw the gun out of a car running from the police, me and some of my friends. Just on and over and over and over and over and over, the same stuff over. And I always ask myself how I wasn't caught up and went back to prison. And a lot more other people did. It's because God had a plan for me that I couldn't even see until I was able to see it. And that plan has revealed itself. It has unveiled itself over the last 5, 6, 10 years now. And now I'm embracing myself in this plan. So I went on from getting out of prison. I volunteered, like I said in my bio, to the governor's office. And I worked in the governor's office. I started with the smallest job. Matter of fact, this job that I took, 2 people didn't even want the job. That's how ordained my step was. Because the 2 people that supposed to got the job before me, who was entitled to their job, they didn't even want that job, which opened the door up for me. Worked that job 2.5 years, went from there to external affairs. Went from external affairs, then went to become the director of minority affairs for the state of Arkansas. Think about that for a second. Yeah. Had my own little mini style. My mini style was me. But it felt good, because I was over the minority affairs. Yeah. So I went on and did that and worked in the governor's office, and like I said, I bust my butt because the first job I had there, I was making coffee, running errands, printing out stuff, taking it to the governor and deputy, small things, something that some people just said, I ain't nowhere in the world I'm gonna do that. But Kevin took it. God opened that door for me. I worked my butt off. People saw me. They understood what I was trying to do. I kept working and working hard, did everything I was asked of. I dressed appropriate. I spoke appropriate. I did everything I supposed to do. And somebody looked at me and said, called me into the office, and I thought I was going to get fired or something. And that's a true story. But they can tell you this. Grant Lamar Davis called me in the office and gave me a promotion based off everything that I had did. 2 years and something. Got that first promotion, external affairs, and less than 6 months, this position, director of minority affairs, came available because Richard Brown went to parole office, and they gave me that job. Just like that. Now here I am. And what was so blessing about that, I learned so much, met so many people, but I learned that work ethic that I needed, how to just come in and work, shut your mouth, work really hard. I really need that because I had never worked nowhere in my life before, only in the streets. And I had learned to take that same hustle, that same drive to push me to where I am today in my life. And when I left the governor's office in 2005, I didn't even know that somebody was recruiting me when I was leaving the governor's office. One of my good friends, Jonathan Duncan, kept calling me and texting me, hey Kevin, I got this job. I wanted to start my nonprofit organization, which I already had, my 501c. I wanted to jump in and build on that. But Jonathan kept calling me and kept calling me. I told him no 2 times. And Jonathan himself just submitted my name for the job at the University of Arkansas Clinical School of Public Service. I ended up went on just because he called me and told me he submitted my name, the people called me. So I went on the interview, but I did not want that job because I wanted to continue to help the Reverend Stewart, who I admire and respect so much. And I want to go ahead and push my nonprofit called Inspiring Other People, inspiring other people, where my motto is to lead by example. So I'm just recreating crime. I'm educating kids about crime, allow them to see it, and I'm talking to them about it, and let them see, like, this is what this is the ramifications of it, and how it all transpired. You know, it's amazing. God just blessed me with this vision, and this vision is coming to fruition. And so when Jonathan called me for the job, I went to interview, and the true story, I was just going to interview for this job just because a friend of mine recommended me. That's all it was going to be. Went to that interview at the Clinton School. Like, got out of there, jumped in my car, was heading from the Clinton Library to Reverend Stewart down to the watershed. So you better know how close it was. Got in the car, got on the freeway. By the time I got off of the freeway, right there where you can get off on Springer, thank you, I didn't want to say the other word, thank you. And pull off, for to get off here, make a left, my phone run, true story. I answered the phone. And I said, hello? They said, Kevin? I said, hey, how you doing? I'm doing, because I do that all the time. I said, hey, how you doing? Like, we want to let you know that we gave you the job. We're going to hire you. Hired. And so she said, I can't remember what words were. She said, gave me the job anyway. But when she said it, and I said, this is a true story, I said, what job? She said, the job you just interviewed. This is Dr. Williams. I was like, oh, yeah, okay. I said, oh, okay. She said, yeah, do you want it? I was like, yeah, I want it. She said, you sure you want it? I said, yeah. I was just, the truth is, I didn't want it. And I told Jonathan that, but I took the job on in a way. It's a blessing that I took the job. God knew exactly what he was doing, because when I went over there, I met the right people, the people that I needed to meet, and those people have helped me to be where I am today. I have built some relationships. I learned so much about philanthropy. I met so many CEOs of these foundations. I still have relationships with some of them. And it's just been a blessing when I went over there. And so while I was over there, I knew I had this calling on my life. I knew where I was supposed to really be at. And that's doing what I'm doing now, motivational speaking, building my nonprofit organization. I started a company called Lessons Learned. So Lessons Learned is basically what it says, lessons learned. So all the lessons I learned, I put them in a big old pot. I had already been talking about them and teaching them, and I didn't even really realize it, because people would call me and say, Kevin, would you come talk about this? Would you come talk about this? So I used to have to put something together and go talk about just what they said. So I put all this stuff together and I created Lessons Learned. And Lessons Learned is just, I'm telling you, I'm so blessed. I was so busy just for speaking. This is how God works. Check this out. I was so busy at the Clinton School, just taking so many days off, because I'm flying here to go speak. I'm traveling in Arkansas, going all over places going to speak, getting paid to do it. Now, I was making $50-something thousand at this job. I don't know if that's a lot to y'all, but that was pretty good for a person like me. I made $57,000 or something with this job. So I took that, now this job is money coming in, but I'm making money over here speaking, and I don't know if y'all understand the speaking thing. You set your own price, they either can say yes or no, and I was just, it was up and down for me. It just been amazing to go in somewhere and speak for 30 minutes. They give you a nice little chunk of money and you move on out the way. That's just a true story. So I was doing that so much, and I didn't want to turn that money down. I was doing it so much, and I saw an opportunity for me to become this motivational speaker on the level of Les Brown, Eric Thomas, John Maxwell, and I took that opportunity. But while I was at the Clinton School, I was so frustrated because I knew where I was supposed to be, but I could not leave because this job was my income. This job was something that I was used to. This job was something I was comfortable with. But boy, God shook that nest up, pushed me on out of there, and I left June the 31st, 2018, and ever since I left, my schedule has doubled. True story. True story. I created that company, Lessons Learned, and now I'm in the process of working with the Little Rock School District. I got a meeting with them. I ain't gonna say their names. I already met with the superintendent, so it's in the process. So now I'm meeting with the other foot soldiers. I got a contract coming down the line with Arkansas Community Correction. I got a contract coming down the line with Arkansas Department of Correction. I got a contract coming down the line with Arkansas Juvenile Justice. It's just, I'm so blessed, and I know it. I'm so thankful and humble that God opened up all these doors. And it all started when I walked over here at Shorter College Adult Education Center and got my GED. Amen. Who would ever guess that the day that I walked in here, couldn't read, write, or spell, would have left here and pushed me over to Philander. Philander would push me on over to the governor's office. The governor's office would push me to Webster University to get my master's degree, push me to the Clinton School, push me to become this motivational speaker, push me to inspire other people into Lessons Learned. And now I'm traveling and doing so much all the time. On the board of Arkansas Coalition Juvenile Justice for the state of Arkansas, on so many different committees, I can't tell you how blessed I am and how thankful I am, and that I know God put people in my life to elevate me to this place, and I'm humbly just appreciative. If it had not been for God, I wouldn't be able to do the things that I'm doing. But the one of the things I love about it, I'm not keeping all this for Kevin. It ain't just about Kevin. It's about Kevin going out sharing the story, Kevin going out helping the other brother or the sister to say, hey, you may not been in jail, and it may not look promising now, but I guarantee you, if you put your mind to it, you can arise way above what Kevin and Toby doing. Amen. I know you can. And you know what's so crazy about it? I tell people this, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to be successful in life. You don't have to be the smartest person. You just got to have some grit. You just got to go out there. You just got to hustle. You got to believe you can. You put it in God's hand and just go after it all the time. So I wrote that book, and I tell you, it's called Why Me God. The book is called Why Me God Because I Ordained Yourself. That book has helped me. Not only I'm just a motivational speaker, I'm author and motivational speaking, Kevin Hunt. That is a big difference. I didn't even know it was a big difference until somebody told me that's a big difference. And it has really helped propel me in spaces that I could not have gotten in, because now I am an author and motivational speaker. They say I'm an expert. I'm just like an expert in what? That's just true. Oh, you're an expert. You got a book. I said, okay, well, shoot, cut the check. True story. I have been blessed, brothers and sisters. I'm talking about I got the same tattoo on my chest, and I keep those same tattoos, and I'm going to remove them. It's because when I'm just now starting to get into my groove right now, you know what I'm saying? I always tell people when I'm going to prisons, when I'm talking to gang members, I always point this mark on my chest, these tattoos, just a reminder, like, bro, I haven't taken it off. It's not that I'm active and still believing that stuff. No, I just want to remind you, I'm just like you. I was just like you just 17 years ago. Amen. Just 17 years ago. I'm telling you, I would not have believed that I would be in this position that I am today. You all just don't know how blessed I am. You all just don't know what I've been through in my life to get right here today. If it had not been for God opening up doors, if it had not been for God saying, Kevin, go to the Shorter College Adult Education Center, if it had not been for God putting Miss Waller, Miss Bowles, Miss Borkins, and Miss Husky at Shorter College Adult Education Center to instill something in me that I didn't even have, that I didn't even believe in. They made me believe that they can help me with my reading and writing and speaking and everything. I came over here with disbelief. I came over here because my grandmother had passed away, and I had lied to her from 94 to 2001 that I was going to go back to school. And I only came over here for her. But when I got in there, those people that was in there, they loved on me. Something I had not had outside of my family and my friends. Some new person, somebody just like the ones y'all got over here, loving on you all, trying to push you and encourage you. I had those same people at Shorter College Adult Education Center. They showed me that I can read. They showed me that I can read and write and spell. And the catalyst to all of the moment that really captured me when I thought I couldn't read and write and spell, Miss Waller, Miss Bowles, one of them said, what is your favorite rap song, Kevin? And I named a couple of them. She said, quote some of those songs. And I quoted some of those songs. She said, Kevin, if you can quote a song, 2 songs, 3 songs, 4 songs, 5 songs, without ever seeing the words. Because, you know, we just listen to the song, we memorize the words and the chorus and everything, every little thing that's in those songs. She said, if you can do that, you can learn how to read, write, and spell. And that changed my life. I had never used my brain as an adult to learn how to read, write, and spell. I always thought that I couldn't do multiplication, algebra, geometry, and all that stuff. I always thought that I couldn't write no paragraph. But until they told me that, until I tapped into my own brain, and I found out, because they helped me, I found out what type of learning style that I had. Didn't even know what a learning style was. True story. Like, you are this type of learner, Kevin. I was just like, oh, I am? What is that? Taught me little things like that, propelled me to be the person that I am today, because God put some people in my space to love on me, to encourage me, to make me believe that I can. And once I started believing, and once I started seeing that I can read and write, my skills just went up so quick. Took the test one time and passed it. Went over to Philadelphia, just kept pounding. I surrounded myself with some positive people. Amen. Not saying Toby and them wasn't positive. They was positive in their own little way. But I'm saying I had never been around people saying, I don't want to gang bang. I ain't come from that. I ain't never sold no drugs. All those kids that was coming to Philadelphia College straight out of high school that wanted something in life, we wanted something in life, but we was going to get it the other way. They was going the right way. And I surrounded myself with the right people.
Right.
The ones that are away from the streets and all that stuff. And that's why I'm here today. Because I needed those young and older people to continue to encourage me. And I was watching what they doing, they work ethic and everything. And I said, that's what I want. And I kept pounding on it and pounding on it and pounding on it. So the person that you see today wasn't the person that you saw 17 years ago that couldn't spell apple, banana, orange, strawberry, and all those fruits, which I love all the time. You see a person that God has touched his life and that recognized it was only God. And I would not be here if he had not put people like you all have here at Shorter College that's trying to help you and motivate you all. I would not be here if it wasn't for those people. And I thank y'all and God bless.